a little bit. Was it a trade, like a baseball deal? Like they
No,
sent
honestly,
Doug, and
it's pretty deep.
you've got contracts and all sorts of things. That's great.
More than you realize.
That's absolutely
Thanks,
great.
Pete.
Yes, thank you.
This is the part where I talk about not talking, because I always wait. See that little eyeball right there? I'm sure you know how the live stream goes. I wait until there's a couple of people out there. But the ironic part is then when you watch it later, you can hear me talking about how we're not talking. But now we've got some people out there. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mike Idle from the Beer Money Pulling Team back at it again. It's Saturday morning in Louisville, Kentucky. You know, I almost said sitting with you, it's Saturday in Bowling Green. You know, that infamous call, because that one is so much fun. But it's Saturday in Louisville, Kentucky. We're here at the National Farm Machinery Show, debuting the beautiful Remedy-wrapped super stock diesel tractor. Guys, we're going to talk big level truck and tractor pulling, and really just a passion for the sport in general. I cannot think of people who work harder or more passionate individuals than the blue shirts of the National Tractor Pulling Championships in Bowling Green, Ohio. A director from there, Keith Seiler's with me today. Hey, Keith, how you doing today? Thank you so much for being with us.
Good, nice to be with you, Mike.
Awesome, that's great. So we're talking National Tractor Pulling Championships in Bowling Green, Ohio. It's kind of the one of the one. It's kind of on a list of one of one. I've talked to a lot of pulling fans this weekend, and I've talked to a lot of casual pulling fans. I'll ask somebody, hey, where are you from? Oh, we're from Knoxville, Tennessee. Hey, where are you from? Oh, we're from, Western Pennsylvania. And I say, well, do you guys make it to many pulls? Do you have a lot of pulls? And a lot of them say, just one. We go to Bowling Green, Ohio. What makes Bowling Green so special? And walk us through the role that you play in making that happen every year.
Well, Bowling Green's special. We've been doing it for 58 years now coming up, so we're very excited. It started out really slow. Guys got together and they decided to put on a simple little pole of their own. They thought it was pretty cool, and they just kept working hard at it, and it's year after year of all year round working hard to do the best you can do to put on your show.
Absolutely. And so you guys, you have a huge group that makes that happen. A big group of people. They're kind of famous. They're known as the Blue Shirts. Almost a group of 200 individuals. Is that right?
Yeah. We have a group of 200 plus. 225 is our limit right now in our club. As we grow, we'll probably change and grow more, but we're always looking for more help. So if anybody's interested in helping, it's a lot of work, but you can enjoy it and meet a lot of different people, and it's just a great time.
Yep, and the Blue Shirts is their role. So when we go as fans, and I've been to Bowling Green before, you'll see them out there. You'll visibly see them working the track and everything. Do the Blue Shirts work just that Thursday through Saturday, or do they spend year-round at it? And we'll talk year-round promotions in just a second as well.
So the directors, they spend two nights a week, or 2 nights a month, Thursday or Tuesdays, and they're out there every month putting hours and hours. We'll have meetings that start at 7 and we'll go to 2 o'clock in the morning. It's just a long night, but we get a lot done, and we take our event very seriously. That's why the discussion takes so long when you're making decisions and things. Yeah, and the rest of the Blue Shirts, they will work. We will start actually almost 2 weeks before the event.
Sure.
Getting stuff out of our barn, checking on our rollers, getting all the equipment lined up, getting the campground ready, and just lining things up just for that event. And then the week before, it is hard work, late nights. You just work hard. You set up, you get up in the morning, you work hard. Of course, if it's raining, we try not to work in too much rain and tear things up, but we do, we'll work around the rain. And thanks to the fans working with us to work around the rain. Sometimes it's not the greatest, but it's what you got to do to put on a great event.
Yes, absolutely. And you guys run it so efficiently. And I think, and I can just sense it as we talk, the level of professionalism and meets that level of passion. You guys care very deeply, but this is not just something that you start thinking about 15 days ahead of time. This is something that you take as a business and something that you want to see be successful every single year. And I would say every single year, it does just become more and more successful. Would you agree with that?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. It's one of those things. It just every year, what else can we do better? What did we, it wasn't so good last year. What can we do better? How can we do that? And it's not just the directors. It's every one of the Blue Shirts. It's everybody that's a member. They are all interested in how can we do this better? What can we do that's cool? What's the next thing we can do? It's just setting that bar a little higher, a little higher, a little higher.
And I'm sure once you get kind of established and you've been at it so long and you do kind of have your foot in the door, then that is kind of fun to look back. We know what works. We know our routine. How can we? What can we add? What can we bring? One thing I do want to talk to you about as a fan, one thing that we talk about a lot as pullers and that makes Bowling Green so unique, let's analyze the sheer scale of what is happening here. And I want to attack this question kind of from 3 different angles here. So the campground, the absolute famous campground in and of itself, I have been told is one of the biggest, maybe the second biggest camping event for a motorsports event in the country outside of either Daytona or Charlotte or one of these major NASCAR events. I've heard that rumor. Is that true?
We believe so. I haven't done the numbers. I've been trying to get the numbers again to double check on that. But at one time, we were like the 4th largest motorsport campground.
How many camping spots are available at Bowling Green?
Well, we have 2,100 available. Actually, we added 14 more this year.
That's
how we got them in there. We just turned things around a little bit, and we're getting them in there. So, and I think we'll probably sell out again this year. It's very favorable.
I can imagine. I can absolutely imagine. The crowd itself, of course, anyone who comes camping, you imagine that they're going to be there, they're going to be present, they're going to attend the pool, they're going to hang out. The whole thing's an experience. But then, when I've been to Bowling Green, we didn't camp. We went out there and we were truck and tractor pulling enthusiasts, and we were there for the show. Let's talk about it. And everyone's asked this question, and I'm going to put you on the spot, and I'm going to look for the answer. That seating, I keep words like arena come to my mind and stadium come to my mind. You can't really just say grandstand. The scale of fans, is there an attendance anywhere? Do we know just how many people are going to sit in the bowl on a packed Saturday night at Bowling Green?
Yeah, we kind of have an idea on that. Of course, with all the chairs in there, you lose track of the true numbers. But, it's nothing to run 65,000 people through there, with all that seating going on, and then all those chairs. It's amazing that, hey, yeah, we get that many people in there. Never thought we ever would, and we still do. And we're, what do we do next? Can we add more bleachers and turn it into said bowl, or whatever, that stadium, the arena? It would be pretty cool to be able to do some of that.
And that's exactly what it feels like. And I've been to a handful of college football games. I'm from Missouri, and, you go to Faurot Field, you go watch a Mizzou Tigers football game. And that's what it felt like. And my father and I went and we discussed, and we said, it's a bowl seating. You feel like you're at an arena. And the number we always kind of play with, there's got to be 60,000 people here, but surely not. It's a tractor pull. But yeah, that is remarkable. Let's jump one more. So we've talked about the campground. We've talked about the sheer number of fans there. And I do have a point. I'm going somewhere with this, I promise. What about vehicles? I've heard rumors that you guys might have 70 two-wheel drive trucks or 45 pro stocks. What's the magnitude of vehicles look like, and what attracts so many pullers to pull at Bowling Green?
Well, the attraction, I believe, is the ring. I mean, everybody wants to win the prestigious ring. That's the whole idea of it, So, yeah, getting the vehicles in there, 72 two-wheel drives, we've done that. 40 pro stocks, we've done that. 40-some four-wheel drive trucks, and we're starting to get the diesel four-wheel drive class is starting to grow. So we're starting to get more of them in there. A lot of super farms having those. And now with the minis are growing rapidly. So, we're going to have probably a record number of them again, but every class is their own entertainment. And that's why people come to watch it. And then for the pullers, the pullers are great. We love having the pullers. We like talking with them just in general as you see them on the street. And that's a lot of people don't understand is when you talk with the pullers, they're just like you and I. No, they're not any different than you and I. And they like to talk pulling. That's their thing. Some people really like football or whatever. They like pulling.
And they're salt of the earth people. That's the phrase I've been using throughout this whole time. There's no chip on their shoulder. There's no ego that you might see in other sports. They are down to earth people. They want to talk to you. As long as they're not wrenching, putting a new rear end in between sessions, they usually have time and are looking to talk to you. So I want to really pay you guys what I consider just to be my favorite part of the pull, pay you a compliment here. And I want to kind of send this out to everyone listening. We're talking here numbers, 4,000 campgrounds, 60,000, spectators, sessions that might have 150 hooks. And you might be sitting there thinking, my gosh, That pull's going to last 7 hours. I'm going to stand in line for a hot dog for an hour and a half. How am I ever even going to navigate it? Guys, I've been there. The pace is remarkable. You don't stand in line for forever. And I'll tell you this, if you love truck and tractor pulling and you want to watch a show, you better not look down and be checking your email on your phone, because the pace is incredible. That's, to me, what makes the whole thing so awesome. I'm sure we're going to go back to the blue shirts with that. But how are you able to just move this through at such a championship level pace?
Well, a lot of coordination going with that, and our goal is we work and talk about running it through quickly. It's setting up the tracks, getting the tracks set up right at the very beginning before they start pulling, and then having good operators. I mean, it's all the operators, it's all the blue shirts, it's everybody that's doing lineup. It's even the pullers working together to keep, pay attention. Let's go. We're ready to go. We try to put one off every 2 minutes. 2 tracks, you should be able to put a pull off or have somebody hooking every 2 minutes. So you're busy, and it takes a lot of people, and it takes coordination. I mean, our track guys, lots of experience going on there, and we're trying to teach younger guys because some of them are now finally getting older.
Sure,
but it's just the experience and everybody knowing what to do, what's next, and paying attention. And hey, let's go. We want to do this, and that's how we get them done. We don't want to be there till 3 o'clock in the morning unless it rains. Then it's okay. But we typically don't want to be there all night because we're getting up early in the morning to start the day over again.
And that's how you know that you have put in the work, and that's a reflection of what it all comes down to. Not least of which is the track itself. I mean, imagine putting that much horsepower that many times. That track doesn't fall apart. That track holds it every single time. The prep crew is awesome. Everything behind it is great. How do you prepare for all of this? What does the day-to-day role in the life of Keith look like? How are you handling this day by day to make this all come together awesome in August every year?
Well, Fridays usually start out pretty early for me, about 3 o'clock. People are going to bed, and I'm waking up, and I'm running around working with the media. Local TV channels will come in. We'll start working with them. And then, of course, the directors have a meeting every morning, and we work with the officials. We work with NTPA. We work with our safety and EMS crews. We have all these meetings with them every morning to find out what we can do, where our problems are, and what we can do to fix them. And then the show begins. You leave, you go to the driver's meeting quick, and then you end up working on, hey, what's next for the show? Well, let's get things organized. Let's go. And I'm not the only one that gets up early. We got a bunch of others that get up early, go to bed late. At the end of the day, you're tired.
I completely understand that. One thing that you've kind of highlighted on is it seems like you guys have this driving hunger mixed with that professionalism. You're never sitting back and saying, we're good to go. I've heard you kind of mention it. Your mind seems to work. It's always that next thing. If we've got this covered, and once the show starts, you're probably not just sitting back drinking a sweet tea. You're thinking about tomorrow. You're thinking about next month. You're thinking about next year. What are we going to add? What are we going to do? How do we make it keep going? That's one of the things that makes the National Tractor Pulling Championships in Bowling Green so special. Let's talk about that emblem on your shirt a little bit. One thing that we love when we try to do in modern pulling is we're utilizing social media. We're trying to bring pulling to the fans in every avenue that we can, promoting as often as we can. You guys have started the Behind the Hook series. What a success that has been. If you guys have not watched any of that, please go out there and watch some of it. How did that come to be, and what are your thoughts on how that's going so far?
Well, we feel it's going very well. We're really enjoying it. I believe everybody that's involved is really enjoying it. Some of them are shocked that, the guys will shoot for 20 hours of video for 20 minutes. The public gets to see. But the Behind the Hook, it was just kind of thrown out there as an idea. What if we tried a little series? Mm-hmm. And, let's get some Behind the Hook, behind the scenes. What are the pullers about? What's their life look like? Nobody knows, because all you see them is pulling most of the time. So what's their life look like? And what do they do for a living? They just can't, you don't pull for a living. There's no money in pulling. So You aren't pulling for a living. You're pulling for the dream. So what's it look like behind the scenes? What's their family life like? What all happens here? And where's their passion? And you're finding out that the passion is within their communities. I mean, it's pretty obvious, which is very neat to see and cool. People don't understand that. And, again, that's what it's all about. Pulling in general, that's what it's all about. It's about the family.
When I do any of my podcast work or my media work, and we've tried to do this here, I kind of use the phrase, pull back the curtain. We want to see exactly what happens behind the scenes and how it works. These are salt of the earth people. Two things that you said that I'm just going to latch on to. They do it for their community, which is a reflection of tractor pulling and just, rural living, which is everything that tractor pulling is. And it's about, and you said they don't do it for the money. They do it for the dream. I've had so many people come up to me this week and they say, well, how much do these guys make? How do you make a living in this? They do it for the dream. And that's what makes it happen right there. And Bowling Green is such an awesome representation. That couple awesome comments I want to get to, and I've got a few more questions before I let you go. This one's really, really neat. Chris Kilberger says, any thoughts on expanding the pulling museum? Underneath the south bleachers, you guys actually have almost like a hall of fame, like a museum where you display some historic and monumental vehicles that have pulled over the years. Tell us about what's already there, and then talk to Chris. Are we ever going to make that even bigger?
Well, yeah, we'd like to make it bigger. We're working on collecting more facts, old video that we would like to be able to present. Matter of fact, we'd like to be able to run past video and run it during the whole weekend for one more thing for the fans and for everybody to see. We do have a Hall of Fame back at our clubhouse that we're putting plaques up and little write-ups. We're getting stuff written up on them. And we have one pulling vehicle right now that is actually ours. It's an old one. And we're looking to collect more and to keep growing. Someday our dream, at least my dream, to see it would be to actually have a building that is dedicated only to the history of the pulling world.
Can you guys imagine how cool that would be? I really get stuck in a rut sometimes because I think pulling, it's just as much fun. We always want to look forward. As we've talked about here, Keith has talked to us about, you're always thinking forward. A lot of times it's fun to look backwards too. You can't know where you're going without knowing where you've been. And you always want to tip your cap to those people who have made such great strides in developments in technology. Folks, how neat would that be to have a dedicated museum to the history of truck and tractor pulling? Something the sport deserves and something that we would love to see. So Chris also wants to know, we were talking about this earlier on the sheer scale of things, how many hooks for the weekend? And I'm just going to call the weekend. Let's go Thursday session 1 through Saturday night session 5. How many passes are going to go down that track?
You'll see upwards to 700. We've had over 700 before, but yeah, typically you'll see around 700.
700, not 700 individual vehicles. Every vehicle there usually pulls twice, but 700 trips down the track. Guys, it is absolutely awesome. How many years have you been working for the National Tractor Pulling Championships? And what are some of your favorite memories over those years?
Working for the National Tractor Pulling Championships. Let's see here. I've been working actually for over 12 years. I've only been a blue shirt now for 8, actually. I started as a friend, hey, can you help out? Yeah, I'll help out. And it's the camaraderie with working with other blue shirts. The first group I got to work with, they're a great track crew. They have a lot of fun. They laugh, but they take their work serious also.
Of course.
So, and that's the best part. And then when you're done, you get it all set up and you look at it, you take a moment and go, oh, I did that. We did that.
Sure.
This is absolutely awesome.
Sure.
We love it.
A sense of accomplishment, putting pride into your work, looking to create something that you give back to the community and back to the people. I said that was going to be my last question, but I would be remiss. What does it mean I've always wondered this. There's a Division I university right there in Bowling Green, and of course, you guys have your sports and everything, and the town has all of its establishment. What does the pull mean to the town? What does the pull mean to the community?
For the community, the pull is huge economic blast for them. They're talking upwards to 40 million, that we bring in pretty much that weekend. And that includes the college moving, because the college moves in also that weekend.
What a weekend. What a weekend.
It's a big weekend. And that's why the town is so crazy with everybody too. It's just a plain big weekend.
That's absolutely that's wonderful. That's wonderful. This has been a reflection of, I think, everything that pulling is and what it stands for. It's a community-oriented sport. It's a family-oriented sport. But I also want everyone to know, it can operate on so many levels, and Bowling Green just reflects that. If you build it, they will come, and there's no reason to think that pulling couldn't be this big all the way across the board. Keith, you and your whole organization, I don't have to tell you, everybody knows it. It's Bowling Green, baby. You guys have all heard of it. You do the top tier job. If you've never been, put it on your list. It's the show worth seeing. It's where it's at. It takes all the work behind the scenes to make it happen. Anybody you want to give a shout out to? Any closing words before we wrap up here today?
I don't think I have anybody I want to give a shout out to besides the pullers and the fans. Thank you. We really appreciate every one of you. And, you know, and we appreciate it when you say thanks to us. It's very, very touching when you say that.
It matters. And don't, I want you to know the work that you guys put in. It's seen, it's known, it's appreciated because it's reflected in the product you put on the track. There's a reason that they come to Bowling Green. Keep up the great work. Keith, thank you so much for your time here today. I hope you have a great time at the rest of the National Farm Machinery Show, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you also.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.